Hey, all you basketball fans, this is Mike Wright coming to you to talk about basketball legends. And today we're going to go over how to initially set up your team sheets and put all the cubes on, and so you can play the game. Now, whenever you get this set up, your sheets are going to be a statistical representation of what that team did for the year. So if you got cubes on your sheets, that means the offense or defense did better than normal. So if they don't have any cubes at all, it's the most average team of all time. So today we're going to go over and we're going to set up two teams, the 2021 Baylor and 2021 Texas Tech. So, but looking at Baylor right off the bat, right in the middle of the sheet, it says 25 coaching points. On Texas Tech side, it says 17. So you're going to put 25 cubes in the coaching point area for Baylor and 17 cubes in the Texas Tech side. Now, these cubes are going to be used to adjust shots and rebounds. So each cube is going to be worth 2 points, 2 points off the roll. So, for example, if you have a team, say like Baylor, right now, they make 2-point shots at 49%. If you roll a 51, which would normally be a miss, you can spend one of your cubes and adjust that die roll from a 51 to a 49 and make the shot. So right off the bat, you'll put 25 on Baylor, 17 on Texas Tech. Now you got 8 adjustment boxes on each team. Basically, there's offensive adjustment boxes and defensive adjustment boxes. The offensive side will let you move from a turnover because the offense does not want turnovers. They don't want steals. They don't want to get blocked. And they do want to cause fouls so they can get to the free throw line. So right off the bat, looking at Baylor's, they got 1 in the turnover box, 1 in the steal, 0 in the block, -3 in the foul. So anything with a positive number, you put a cube for each number. So for Baylor's case, you'll put 1 in the turnover box, 1 in the steal box, none in the block, none in the foul, 2 foul. On the defensive side for Baylor, it's the opposite for defense because you do want to create turnovers, you do want to steal the ball, you do want to block, and you don't want to foul. So here you can put 1 in the box for turnovers for Baylor defense, 2 for steal, none on the block, and 2 in the prevent foul. Looking over at the Texas Tech side, you're going to have 2 in the turnover box. On the offensive side, 2 in the steal, 1 block, 1 foul. On their defensive side, you're going to have 2 in the turnover box, none in the steal, none in the block, 2 in the foul. Now, if you have a negative in any of these numbers, like for instance, the Baylor side has a -3 to foul. When it came down to statistics, they did not cause the other teams to foul them as often. So we're going to move that -3 over to the Texas Tech to prevent fouls. So we're going to give that to their defense. So basically, if you got a minus in one team's offense, it's going to go to the other team's defense and vice versa. So those 3 cubes in the 2 foul will go to the from foul box for Texas Tech. Now Texas Tech has 5 cubes in there from the foul, so they'll prevent fouls. There's no other negatives on these adjustment boxes. Now the next thing to look at is what can you add to any adjustment box. You look on the Baylor side, they have a +1 to any offensive adjustment and +2 to any defensive adjustment. Now, basically, you can take that +1 for the offense, put it in any box you choose. You can put it in the block or the foul because you don't have any cubes there. Or you can add to the from turnover or from steal, your choice. And basically later on when there's timeouts, whenever you call timeouts, you're going to get different cubes, more cubes added. And you can move cubes from your coaching points down to your adjustment boxes. After this initial setup, you can never add more than what's in this number to those adjustment boxes. So like, for example, the from turnover on offense for Baylor, they have a 1 there. After this initial setup, there can never be more than 1 put back in there. So you got coaching points. There's already a cube there. You can't add any more cubes to that box. from blocking the foul, you can never add cubes to those boxes after this initial setup. Looking down, say at the steal for defense for Baylor, let's say you had 2 cubes there and you used 1 during the game. Later on, when you call a timeout, you can move 1 from your coaching points down to your adjustment box in the steal, as long as it can. The most thing you have in it is 2 after this initial setup. So anyway, going back to the offensive adjustment box, you add 1 to any box you want. On the defensive side for Baylor, they're going to add 2 to any box they want. On the Texas Tech side, they got a +1 to any offensive box and +4 any defensive box. Again, if there's a negative number, negative offense will go to the other team's defense. So say, for instance, if Baylor would have had a -1 to any adjustment box, that would have gave Texas Tech 1 to add to any defense that they wanted. So again, to kind of go over things, whenever you get these set up and you have cubes on, these are adjustments to, it's a statistical representation of how that team did during the season. So again, if you got cubes, they did better than average. If there's negative, they did below average. So that kind of gives you an idea. And anything below average is going to give it to the defense to adjust the way they want to. So that's how you set it up. So let's go out and play some basketball.